Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, make sure to subscribe for more content like this. And in this video, I'm going to be explaining what Patreon is and how I can help you with K-pop auditions on that platform. Since it is the beginning of the month, hence the perfect time to join, I decided to make this video just because a lot of you guys have been asking, wait, so what exactly is Patreon and how can I actually trust you to give me like this kind of information and help? So today I decided to show you guys how I actually give people advice here. So I have about 6 people with me here today, and I will just be showing you guys how I teach them. Don't worry, I got their permission, and they will also be telling you guys some benefits of Patreon, why they joined, and how it helped them. Firstly, you'd have to go to the Patreon website. So all you have to do is click in the link in the description box or in the pinned comment, or you can go onto my Instagram and then click my bio, then click K-pop audition help. Just so if you missed that, we're going to go to my Instagram bio, and then you're going to click on to Patreon, K-pop audition help, and then it will guide you to the website. Not an app, it's a website. So you can go to my about section and then click K-pop audition help, or you can go into like literally any video, and then we're going to go to the description box and you can see the link for Patreon right there. It'll also be in the pinned comment as well as in the description box, so those are a lot of different ways that you can find the website. And then the first thing you'll probably see is the 3 tiers, I guess. So there's just 3 columns, so I have 3 tiers on Patreon currently. 2 of them are about K-pop auditions, while one of them is just like a general, like a supporters tier. So the first one I'll explain, even though it's not really related to K-pop auditions, is called Luvieirenekpopaudition supporter. So when you join this tier, which is $5 per month, you get unreleased videos, updates only for Patreon members. You can also request for videos and they will be highly valued. You can vote for my next video. You can have early access to my videos, which is probably like my most common benefit, like one that I upload a lot. And then the next one is unreleased dance covers. These are like really rare, but I still do them. I probably have about 3 or 4 on Patreon right now if you just scroll down. And then you get to see my future video ideas and then monthly Q&As. So those are all the benefits just for $5 a month, and these are all monthly based payments. So how it works is, say you joined on the 1st, then you get these benefits from the 1st to the 30th or the 31st or whatever the month is. And if you join from like the 15th, you only get half of the month, right? So it's not really that much of a benefit, but then I'll explain it later how advanced tier kind of like compensates for that. So the next tier is a K-pop audition tier. So it's called K-pop audition course beginner. So these are for people who aren't that really like serious about K-pop auditions yet, or maybe they are serious, they just don't really have the budget for it. So if you guys are kind of like struggling to kind of pay for this, I would recommend beginner tier. Also, it's a great tier to start off with. Most of my Patreon members, I think they did start on beginner tier, but then they all ended up upgrading to advanced tier just because it has a lot more benefits, and I would definitely say it's more beneficial. But if you can't afford it, I would go for beginner tier. So that is $25 a month, and you get all of the benefits from the last tier. So all of those unreleased videos, early access, those kind of things. If you guys see my premiere, then you scroll down and there are like comments from 2 days ago. Those are all Patreon members who have early access to that video, and they're just commenting earlier. So things like that is what like the benefits are. And then for back to beginner tier, there are weekly evaluations and advice for improvement through Patreon messages or Instagram DMs. So there are 2 ways you can message me on Patreon or like how to get help. I know that some people can't actually send videos through Patreon messages, so they do end up emailing me. By the way, if you're emailing me and you're not a Patreon member, yeah, please stop. It only says business and collaboration only, not for K-pop audition help. So that would be greatly appreciated. I don't know how many emails I receive asking for K-pop audition help, even though I specifically said not to. Anyways, that's unrelated. So the next one is answers to your audition questions through, again, Instagram DMs or Patreon messages. So you can ask me any questions. So this is like, you can ask me whenever. Those weekly evaluations are once a week. So say if you send it always on a Monday, then it would have to be consistently on Mondays. And also these like audition questions, just little short questions you can ask me at any time. And then help for filling in audition forms through Instagram DMs or Patreon messages. So this is just if you guys are having trouble with filling out the form, you don't know which video to choose, that kind of stuff is what this is. It's actually $25 per month. And then the next tier, which is K-pop audition course advanced. This one is definitely more advanced, as the title suggests, and it has all of the benefits from the last two tiers, so all of them are included, except that the beginner tier was weekly evaluations and advice. This is like literally whenever you want. So I have people just DMing me once a week, every day, you know, things like that. It all varies. Maybe you just really need a lot of practice right now, so you're sending in a lot of videos. That's perfect for the advanced tier because you can send videos at any time. I'll probably answer maybe 12 to 24 hours, just depending on if I'm sleeping or I'm in school. But yeah, I do answer them pretty quickly, I would say. And then the next one is help for translations from Korean to English, not just audition forms, and also Korean lessons. So I do like I do have Korean lessons one-on-one, so it's not really group lessons. I just message them and then they'll be like, hey, is this the right grammar? And I'll just fix it for them. Just little things like that. It all depends on their level. I haven't done too much Korean lessons yet just because people haven't asked for them. They usually look for more like evaluations than Korean lessons, which is totally fine. I'm fine with both of them. So yeah. And then the next one is, I've mentioned quite a lot, I feel like, is the list of companies you can audition for and personal recommendations for companies. So I have this master list of all of the companies you can audition for right now, global auditions, that is, global online auditions. And I also recommend which company suits you the best. So this is also an added benefit of the advanced tier. And then the next one is group chat only for the advanced tier members. I feel like this is like one of my favorites just because we have so many people on the chat now. Let me just check how many there are. So it's just an Instagram group chat where we have all of the members, advanced tier members, but then some of them don't have Instagram, so like, yeah. Right now we have 3, 6, 9, 11 members in the advanced tier group chat though. Like there are a lot more that don't have Instagram. So yeah, I feel like it's really fun just because the Patreon members will actually elaborate on how the group chat works and everything, but I just love how there's like a community, and every week I send like an unreleased video or like early access video, and they're all very supportive, and it's like a good place to ask questions like, hey, are you auditioning for this new company? And then someone else will be like, wait, there's a new audition? I didn't know that. And I just find that really interesting how everyone just like finds a place, I guess, because at the end of the day, they all want to be idols. They're all going for the same goal, so yeah. So those are just like a short explanation of all of the tiers. So, oh, and I forgot to mention that advanced tier is $45 a month. So how do you actually join? How do you pay? All that kind of information. So let's just click join. So you need a credit card or a PayPal account to pay. So firstly, you're going to choose your tier. So that's out of 3 tiers. And then you're just going to input your credit card details, and then it just pays. And just in case you guys don't know, this is all in USD. I do not choose this. There are only like euros, USD, and pounds. And a lot of people who watch my videos do not use euros nor pounds, so I just decided to make it USD. And if you live somewhere that's not in the US, it's totally fine. It's just currency change, right? So I have people all over the place. So I've got a Korean member, I've got a lot of members from US, I've got Indian members, I've got Filipino members, and then I've also got like Spanish members. Like there's, well, like Spanish, that's a big category, but you know. So there's like a lot of people from different countries, which is very fascinating. Obviously, I don't know like where everyone lives. That would just be very stalkerish. But like what I've heard from is like there's a lot of US, there's Indian, there's Philippine, and there's like Korean. There's like just people all over the place. So don't feel like you're like the only one who's from wherever you're from. And yeah, definitely not a place where you feel left out, for sure. So these are all the information you need to know about Patreon. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to leave them down below. I'd be more than happy to answer them. And a frequently asked question, which is really sad, but this is a frequently asked question. And a lot of people ask, hey, I can't afford Patreon. Can I still send you a video? And no? How do you think that's fair for the Patreon members that actually join to get help? You know, it's not like I'm going to give you special treatment. And I feel like I've talked about this a lot, just like in my live streams, I think in my like K-pop trainees video where this really disrespectful person DM'd me saying, hey, I need help. Now, give me help right now. Things like that. I get a lot of DMs kind of like that, which is honestly really sad how people just think they're so special and they need special treatment. I don't know. Yeah, so no, that it doesn't work like that. I'm not going to give you special treatment just because you can't afford it. I'm sorry if you can't afford it. Like when I wake up, there are like 50 DMs. I can't help you every single one of them, right? I try to respond to everyone, but I can't help every one of them. Like watch their videos, evaluate them. That's why I made Patreon, right? Anyways, let's get on to the first person that I'm going to introduce to you guys. She is Maddie, and she was actually one of my first Patreon members. She is currently an advanced tier, and also she is a Korean, if you guys needed to know that. I will just be evaluating her dance video, I think it is this time, and seeing what she can improve on. She actually does have a YouTube channel, which I think you should really go check out. She's so underrated. Yeah. So I will just... Oh my god, this looks so weird. So I will just be evaluating her Not Shy dance cover just because I've done evaluations for all the other ones, but she forgot to ask for this one. So yeah, this is usually what I do on Patreon, except I'll send like through messaging because I just don't have time to record all of them. So it's basically the same thing except I'm writing it all down. Okay, great. So this is kind of similar to my series, I guess, but I do tell my Patreon members like what their uh strengths are, I guess, what their strengths are, but as well as like what they can improve on, just because I feel like when you're trying to improve your skill, you need to know what you're good at as well, because as you like develop your skill, I guess, you start to notice what you're better at and what you're not so good at, I guess, and what you can improve, right? So that's just basic info. So Maddie here, she has a lot of power, I guess, not like overpowering, but she knows how to put power into some moves and then kind of go more flowy in some others, which I think is really important when you're dancing, because you don't want to be all like weak, right? It just looks very unconfident, I guess. When you're too strong, you seem like you're overconfident, and it's just very messy, the dance itself. But I think she knows how to control it very well, except that her clarity and moves and her preciseness is a bit lacking. So one example is when she goes, yeah, because I like it, or like something like that, like it. It could go a lot more powerfully, I guess. Like she's kind of doing like that, I guess, which is not so very clear, I guess. You want more clear and precise moves. That's what you're working towards. So it'll be like... Do you see how I kind of put the stronger moves in like the first two or first three kind of beats? 1, 2. Because if you just go like that, it's going to look very messy. Oh. It's going to look very messy. So you want to kind of go... So do you guys see how that's going? Okay. So you want to control your clarity. You want to look more precise, and you want to have that clear kind of move. I think having a clear move is really important. I've explained this a lot in my series, And I know it's not something you can fix overnight, but once you kind of start to practice more songs, more dances, where the more powerful parts go into rather than the more like contemporary flowy parts, I think that's really important in knowing how you can control your body. Because at the end of the day, you're trying to learn how to control your body, right? And see if it's more fluid, more like powerful. Like this part, it's really good. I love how she puts more power and then kind of goes down, like drifts down, I guess. And this is a problem with a lot of people, I would say, is when you kind of start to focus only on your hands, especially on more like an arm-based kind of choreo, you forget to kind of control your legs as well. Your legs are half of the choreo as well. You want to be controlling both of them. So if you want to make your body look more coordinated with the song, you should also look at the artists and see how they control their footwork. How is it more precise? How does it work together with your arms? Those kind of things are all really important in knowing how you can look more clear, more fluid, and it just looks very clean compared to other dances, I guess, right? One thing that I forgot to mention is that I actually do evaluations for both singing and dancing, so if you want to do both singing and dancing, that's totally fine. Like for Maddie example, she does more dancing kind of evaluations. She asks for more dancing, but she also does singing from time to time. So for advanced tier, it's easier to do that because you can just ask whenever, but then for beginner tier, since you only get like, say you join on the 1st of the month, then you get 4 times, right? 4 times for evaluations. So it would have to be alternative, I guess, or whatever you choose to be, like singing, dancing, something like that. You can't put 2 videos in, that's just not fair. So this is very like short. Usually I do have more extensive evaluations, I guess, but I'm pretty sure Maddie already knows what she needs to work on. This is kind of just so how you guys can see how I give help. And we're going to listen to what Maddie said about Patreon and how it helped her. So we're going to move on to the next person. She is Stephanie. She's also actually one of my first Patreon members. Oh, by the way, both of these members are advanced here. So yeah, we're going to look at her singing video and let's get on to it.
깊은 밤을 따라서 너의 노랫소리가 한 걸음씩 두 걸음씩 붉은 아침을 따라와 새벽은 지나가고 저 달이 잠에 들면 함께했던 푸른 빛이 사라져.
Okay, so she actually sang in Korean, and which I'm actually pretty like impressed with because her pronunciation I feel like has improved a lot, and you know, even though her pronunciation is really good at this point and I can totally understand what she's saying, it does lack that kind of preciseness, I guess, similar to dancing. She does need to put a bit more emphasis on a few notes, I guess, because this song is supposed to be more flowy, I can tell, more sad, I guess, that kind of vibe. So of course you'd have to match that kind of feel. When it's just always like noise music, you would be really bored of it too, right? You would want some variation. You would want some soft parts, so like a soft bridge along with that kind of more loud, more exciting music, I guess. So I would put a bit more emphasis on, say, the high notes. It's really easier to be a bit more loud in high notes because that's just how singing works. When you're talking in a higher pitch, it gets a bit louder, I guess. Yeah, so I would work on that, and if you're like lacking on your Korean pronunciation, just try doing it slowly and try listening to the artist and see how they pronounce it, because I feel like that's just the best, right? You're trying to copy the artist at the end of the day. And she also did send me another video, so I'll just evaluate that as well.
그런 말은 하지 마 제발 그 말이 더 아픈 거 알잖아 사랑해줄 거라며 다 뭐야 어떤
like the opposite of the other song, but this Korean pronunciation is kind of different, I guess. For the last one, the pronunciation is a bit better, but then for this video, your vocals colors show a bit better. So in terms of vocals, I would choose the second one that you sang, and then for the pronunciation, I guess, I would go for the first one. So this one has a definitely more powerful feel. I can tell it's not just always kind of that sad feel. You have more power into the higher notes, and also volume. You have more volume control. I was actually talking about this with one of my other Patreon members, and what I said was, yeah, I would try to control your volume when singing, because it just improves your singing a lot when you sound a bit more like loud, I guess, and you seem more confident in your voice. So if you're quiet all the time, obviously it's just going to seem a bit less confident in your voice, and having confidence in your voice, having confidence in your dancing is so important. Have you ever seen an idol on stage that isn't really proud of their singing or their dancing? No, and if they were like not very confident, it would show, and it would really be lacking compared to the other members, I guess, on stage, because they look less confident, they're having weaker moves, weaker vocals, that kind of thing. So you want to be more loud. Obviously, I'm not saying she has weak vocals, definitely not. And now we're going to move on to Stephanie's recording of how Patreon helped her and why she joined, stuff like that. Let's go.
Hey! I joined Irene's Patreon because I wanted to improve my singing and dancing skills. Even though I haven't been a member for a super long time, I still feel like I improved a lot. It's really nice getting feedback from all the videos that I send, and the little community that we have on Instagram is really great. If you're considering joining, and if you have the funds to join, I would highly recommend it.
And then we're going to move on to the next person, and we're going to look at his dance. Let's go. Dancing, I think his clarity is really good, and most importantly, his expression is just really strong, I guess, really out there, which I really admire. But one thing he does need to work on are like the timings, I guess. Some people are just not naturally, they just can't really like feel the beat very well. This could be different if you are just musically talented, but some people are not like can't really tell the beats well, which I found is like the problem for this specific person. And when you're dancing, you should probably just count very slowly. Just start slowly, even if it's what is it? We are the lovesick girls. And you want to know which beat you want to go down, which beat you want to go up, which beat your hands are up, you know, things like that. You just kind of want to prepare yourself so that you don't get caught off guard, I guess. And other than that, it looks really good. I think he has really improved since joining my Patreon. Yeah, actually, I'll just play his recording of what he thinks about Patreon, how it's helped him. Yeah, let's go.
Guys, I'm Scott, and I've been a Patreon member since September, and it's been like really helpful. Cause first of all, my dancing is horrible. You should have seen it from the start. But as I continued in my advanced tier journey, I guess she's given me so many evaluations. My moves are very non-sticky, and I'm just very fluid, and I feel better when dancing, and I don't feel like I'm gonna collapse right after. I have a lot more energy now. Am I saying, oh man, you should have heard me, I was so croaky, I was horrible. But after her evaluations, I just gotten so much better. I can find the songs that suit me the best, that can help me in auditioning. And the advanced tier, like, Instagram group chat kind of thing. It's so funny and they're so supportive together. I'm still in my advanced year and I really hope you guys join too.
Okay, and then let's move on to the next person. She has actually improved her vocals a lot, I feel like. So when her first evaluation, I think she did like this more like a strong, powerful song, and I was like, oh, I'm sorry, your vocal colors are really, really pretty, but this song just does not suit you at all. And then I recommended this song, which is Feel Good by From Is Nine. I did it in my K-pop trainees video, and I thought it would just really suit her well because she has more of that softer voice, as you can tell, more quiet, I guess. I always tell her to like control her volume, but obviously it's not something you can work on overnight. Yeah, but this song really suits her well. The soft vocals and the rap, I guess, she also really likes rapping, fits her better, I feel like. So this is also an importance in choosing songs. Yeah, and in Patreon I also do tell you guys like which songs you should do, which song would sound better on you. Even if it's not just specific one song, I tell you like what kind of feel you should go for, because then in that specific area you can choose what you would like. Yeah, so the one thing she just needs to work on is her volume. I feel like it's always a problem for her just because her voice just naturally is not very loud. So that's something you can work on by doing practice. More volume control, more using your chest voice more than your head voice. That kind of stuff does lead to an increased volume. So yeah.
Hi, my name is Leah, and I initially joined Patreon so I could get some singing help. But now that I joined, I also really want to improve on my dancing. I think my singing also really got better as I got evaluations from Irene. I am in the advanced tier, although. So that did have somewhat of a benefit of getting more evaluations. I feel like you should join if you want to really improve your skill and impress the judges when you are auditioning, because I know I will do so much better after that I have help. It's really nice to have some pointers because when you are doing it on your own, it's difficult. You don't know your own faults that very well, and even if you notice them, it's hard to fix them on your own. Also, you have your own style that sometimes you can't change very well, but Irene will really let you what you need to improve on. I really hope you guys will join, and I can't wait to see you there. Bye!
And then we're going to go to our last Patreon member. Actually, that was 7 people, sorry. I miscounted. And I think hers is a dance as well, so let's get on to that.
기다리다가 구름길에 뛰어볼 때면 When you're with me, be honest, let's just be honest. You got me in my feelings, yeah. 둘이 나란히 걸을 때면 바쁜 생각이 너를 느껴 조금이라도 지치면 let me know, yeah. Don't be sleeping on your love, nothing's better. Don't be sleeping on your love, nothing's better, yeah. 올려보다 너는 꿈이라 말할 때면
Sorry, never mind. It was a vocal video. Her vocals are really good, except the breathing parts do really distract the vocal colors. So when you kind of breathe too much into the microphone or whatever kind of device you're using, it sounds like you're very tired and maybe you've overused your voice that kind of stuff. I have mentioned a lot how to control your breathing. This kind of goes for head voice, chest voice, that kind of thing as well. So I would recommend checking out those videos for that. I'm not going to repeat them all over again here, but breathing and volume seems to be the problem in this. And then with that, I feel like you could sound a lot more confident, sound a lot more vibrant with your voice. Just because it's one kind of concept, like one song is this kind of vibe, I guess, does not mean that you have to stick to it. You can add little unique points to yourself. This is actually what the judges are looking for, because when it's too bland, they'll be like, okay, just another singer. We're not going to accept you just because you're a normal singer. Like, that doesn't have any unique traits. Maybe if your visuals are outstanding, you can get in, but if you have just bland vocals, bland visuals, they won't like you. They want to see something unique from you, you know? Let's go on to what she thinks about Patreon.
Hey guys, I guess I'll say a few things about Patreon. I joined just to, I guess, take the advice that I got and really just improve. For me, it would be vocals. I really wanted to see if my voice had a little bit of potential, and I think Patreon really helped me confirm that and really take the advice that I got and improve myself. And I think I've gotten a little bit more confident. So I think future Patreon members should really take in mind that, like, this will help motivate you, and if you're really dedicated, you can take this advice and really just further grow and reach your dreams that you want to accomplish.
And that concludes all of the members. I really hope you guys kind of got an understanding about how Patreon works. If you guys have any additional questions, make sure to leave them down below. Just because I feel like I'm missing something. I don't know. Yeah, I just feel like I'm missing something. Happy late Halloween. Hope you guys are having a good day so far, or good night, wherever you live. Yeah, any questions, just leave them down below, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!